Now on Fast Track News. The Israel-Hamas war is happening thousands of miles away, but it is affecting people all over the world. How are Boilermakers affected by this ongoing conflict?
Plus, how does rent look in West Lafayette? We will give you a broad look.
And how is weather going to look as we go into next week? All your campus news, weather, and sports is straight ahead. Fast Track is back.
There is an ongoing war in the Middle East, but how does it affect students here at Purdue?
Reporter Ellie Akra has the story.
The war between Israel and Hamas rages on, while a war for public opinion grips the watching world. Here at Purdue University, groups in support of both Israel and Palestine are active on campus.
Gaza, it's a one of the Palestinian territory, which is now under severe attack by Israel, and we are trying to tell them that there are 2 million people that are suffering.
The group Students for Justice in Palestine has held tabling and events in recent weeks, advocating for Gaza. The Gaza Strip makes up the state of Palestine, and its government is run by the U.S.-designated terrorist group Hamas, who launched the deadly terrorist attacks on Israel in early October. Since then, fighting between Israel and Hamas has continued, with civilians killed on both sides, and the United States arguing Hamas is to blame for using civilians as shields. The Purdue Hillel, a Jewish student life center on campus, has also held tabling events alongside Chabad and AE other Jewish groups on campus, and a vigil for Israel. The Hillel pointed us to a statement from Hillel International regarding the attacks, saying they were, quote, devastated by the news and calling for prayer. Purdue Hillel declined to comment further, and we have been unable to get in touch with a student from one of the groups to interview.
In general, also a condemnation of attacks on civilians by both sides, and just a hope for a pursuit of peace.
While it's unclear what the future holds for Israel and Gaza, we will keep you updated with how this story is affecting Purdue's campus. Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Ellie Akra.
For more information on the Israel-Hamas war, check out our live show on YouTube.
So are we actually going into fall now?
Meteorologist Veda Kirsch is here with a first look at our forecast.
Yes, we actually are going to see our last bit of summer-type weather today until we actually really do move into those fall temperatures. We're looking at 77 for a high with a low of 62. Our winds are going to be picking up. We're looking at 9 to 15 mile per hour winds, and then a bit of rain looking at midnight and 11 p.m. tonight with that 10% chance. So breaking that down hour by hour, we see at noon we have this cloud cover. As those clouds begin to part, we have a 76 degree at 6 p.m. tapering down into a 62 degree looking at the midnight hours with that rain beginning to roll in. So looking at the wind as well, we're noticing 15 mile per hour gusts in the beginning of the day. It will calm down a little bit, but it will be pretty windy out there for tomorrow. Looking at our weekend, we notice a pretty significant decline in those temperatures. It's going to be 54 on Sunday, and that's going to be our rainy day for our 7-day. So come back to hear a bit more about our 7-day forecast coming up.
Thanks, Veda. Well, John, I understand we are continuing coverage over rent this week.
That's right. As rent goes up around Purdue, Fast Track set out to find out anything we could. Last week we saw Julia Prickett on the street speaking with students, but this week we have a news story for you. How expensive is rent in West Lafayette actually? Purdue is facing an interesting problem. Lots of students and not a lot of room to put them. As Purdue's enrollment goes up, so does rent in the area. With numerous housing projects still under construction and will remain that way for a while, the cost of apartments in the city have steadily gone up. One 30-year-old apartment complex just south of campus has gone up 42% in the last 3 years. But the question remains, how much is rent around West Lafayette? Fast Track has crunched the numbers, and those numbers may surprise you. Numerous apartment rates have raised, and the averages are on upwards of $750 per room for students just for a place near campus. Some of those rates are as high as $2,000 a person for walkable campus housing. And even FAR housing hasn't been immune to these rising rates, with apartments such as Lark, a complex some 4 miles away from campus, rising 18% in cost from this year. What are the reasons for these rising rates? Simple supply and demand? Greed? There is no good answer, but one thing is certain. The cost of living in West Lafayette has risen, and students are paying for it. Tune in next week for our next episode on coverage and rent. Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm John Waterworth.
It is tough to see students having to pay these costs in order to attend our school.
I know I am ready to be done dealing with these rising costs. Up next, a Purdue professor was recently awarded the National Medal of Science.
And still to come, this week was the last farmers market of 2023.
We are energetic, we are motivating, and we are unique.
I don't think you can beat Quidditch.
The brothers at Beta Theta Pi are raising money to support the Tyler Trent Cancer Research Endowment in a unique way. Our reporter Kelly Schaffner had no idea she would be shaving someone's head when we assigned her to this story, but it was all for a good cause. For a $10 donation, anyone could shave a brother's head as a part of their Buzz a Beta fundraiser. According to the at Beta Purdue Instagram account, the fraternity has raised more than $66,000 for the endowment this semester.
A Purdue professor was recently awarded the National Medal of Science by President Biden. Professor Gebisa Ijeta was recognized with the award Tuesday for his outstanding contributions to the science of plant genetics. Ijeta studies sorghum, a grain that is widely used for feeding humans and animals across the world. His research on sorghum has increased its production and resulted in greater food security for millions of people. According to the White House, Ijeta's advocacy has, quote, lifted the fortunes of farmers and strengthens the souls of nations. Ijeta was joined by Purdue University President Meng Shang at the White House Tuesday to receive the award. Professor Ijeta is the Distinguished Professor of Plant Breeding and Genetics and International Agriculture at Purdue. He is also the Executive Director of the Purdue Center for Global Food Security.
Early voting began this week in West Lafayette, and if you are casting your ballot here in Lafayette or West Lafayette, you are required to have ID. And you may remember, Purdue recently started issuing mobile IDs to new students this fall, but you need a physical ID card to vote. So, according to a university news release, students can get a free card that meets the state's requirements. If you have a mobile ID, be on the lookout for a notification from the university about getting your free card. Election Day is Tuesday, November 7th.
This week was the final one for the Purdue Farmers Market, that is, until next spring. The market saw crowds this fall every Thursday from 11 to 3 on Memorial Mall. Local growers, along with food trucks, crafts, and other products were sold to students, faculty, staff, and visitors. The Farmers Market is hosted by Purdue Campus Planning, Architecture, and Sustainability. Don't worry, the market will return after the winter. Mark your calendars for May 4th, 2024.
We're tracking a pretty significant cool down in our weekend temperatures. We're going to be pairing this with some rain on Sunday, and it's going to be interesting to see how this cold snap is starting to move across the whole nation. So come back to hear more about this on Fast Track.
Do you enjoy being a Skull?
I enjoy it quite a bit.
Why?
Love the guys, love being around everyone, love the energy, and love just being able to walk into my house, say, he's down to go to Cane's, or he's down to go do this, go do that. Just having like 5 guys, like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Brother has, own brother's back, and I can go to them for anything.
You definitely learn to work with people. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree all the time. You get really good at just finding compromises, trying to make the best work for everyone.
How would you describe Skulls?
Being a Skull is for life, but the Brotherhood's for eternity.
Good afternoon, Boilers. I'm your meteorologist, Veda Kirsch, and going through our weather for the day, we have some pretty nice temperatures, tracking 77 with a low of 62. However, it is going to be pretty windy today. We have some gusts up to 9 to 15 miles per hour with a bit of a rain chance. Looking at our late night tonight, 11 p.m., 12 a.m., might see a little bit of precipitation. So walking you through hour by hour, we're starting off at the 71, a bit of cloud cover. Those clouds are going to break. We're going to see the sun around 6 p.m. Temperatures are going to ramp up to 76. And then we're going to have a pretty comfortable evening tonight, 62 degrees around midnight. But I want to show you these wind speeds here. So we have 15 miles per hour at the beginning of the day. It's going to be pretty windy, and you probably will notice this on your walk to class. But for the evening, it will calm down just a little bit more. I want to show you this precipitation a bit more in focus here. So this is going to be around midnight and 11 p.m. tonight. We have this line of precipitation that's going to be going across the Midwest here. We might see the effects of this for a couple pop-up showers, nothing serious, and it will go away just as quickly as it came. So hopefully it won't ruin any of our Halloween weekend plans for Friday. But looking at the rest of the weekend, we see this dramatic decline in temperatures here, all the way down to 54 on Sunday. We're pairing that with a bit of rain, and this is actually because of a cold front that we're going to be experiencing this weekend here. So whenever our temperatures start to drop, it will be expected that we're going to see some precipitation. So we have this low pressure all the way up here in Canada that's actually swinging this massive cold front all the way through the eastern United States here. So we're not the only one that's going to be feeling this dramatic decline in temperatures. Looking at our entire United States, we have this massive cold air that's going to be completely blocked with all of this warm air. And look at this, as we move throughout the weekend, almost the entire United States is going to be completely covered in this cold snap. So I fear that this will be the last time that we're going to be seeing any temperatures in the 70s, as well as with the rest of the United States that's going to be dramatically cooling down for our weekend and the beginning of next week. Like I said, when these temperatures start to drop, we are going to notice some precipitation. So this is going to be a future cast for Sunday. And I want to show you this massive rain event that's really tracking along with this frontal boundary here. It's going to be pretty wet on Sunday, but it shouldn't stay for too long. We are going to be seeing this rain break on Sunday, opening us up for a pretty sunny week. But like I said, temperatures are going to drop pretty significantly. So for the weekend here, for our Halloween weekend, we have a nice day on Friday with those warm temperatures, tapering down pretty significantly into 54 with some rain on Sunday. We'll be clearing out for a sunny and partly sunny week moving into the beginning of next week, but those temperatures are going to be getting down into 26 in the evening times here. So we're getting into that freezing weather here, boilers.
Just ahead, paint crew parties, touchdowns, babies, and more. I'm Sebastian Lux. Don't go away. Sports is next.
I mean, every year's different, but it hasn't changed that much. Our league is just ominous, and you better lace them up tight and be ready to play every night. If not, you're going to get beat.
Paint crew members gathered at Mackey Arena Wednesday night to get their gear and hang out on the court. Fast Track Sports reporter Sarah Foodie has the story.
Boilermakers waited to cram into Mackey for their paint crew gear this week, and the atmosphere was electric. This season's paint crew access was not without flaws, as just a year ago, a line not too different from this one ended in a stampede as students raced to be earlier in line. However, that hasn't stopped anyone from having fun this year as students gathered in Mackey to get their t-shirts, ID cards, and more. Men's basketball season starts November 6th with the paint crew in the stands. We will have to see how the Boilermakers do this year. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Sarah Foodie.
Basketball season is back. The Purdue men's team will play their first exhibition game Wednesday, November 1st against Grace College on Big Ten Plus. Game coverage will start at 7 p.m. The team is going into the season ranked third in the country, only behind Kansas and Duke. Zach Edey is coming off of a season where he averaged 22.3 points and 12.9 rebounds, winning Naismith College Player of the Year. He will look to replicate that this season. The Purdue women's team is also back in action this Sunday with their first exhibition game against Quincy. Game coverage will start at 2 p.m. The team faces a significant challenge this season as last season's leading scorer, Laisha Petrie, has graduated, leaving a void of 14.7 points to be filled. Coach Katie Geralds is counting on the potential of the 6 new freshmen to fill this role and rise to the occasion. The team will take on UCLA for their first regular season game on November 6th in LA. The Boilermakers are back on the field this Saturday to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Purdue's coming off of 2 straight frustrating losses, while Nebraska is coming into the weekend winning their last 2. A huge game for the Boilers, no doubt, as they must win 4 of their remaining 5 games to become bowl eligible. Kickoff is set to start at 3:30 from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Former Boilermaker Aiden O'Connell threw his first career touchdown in the NFL last week. O'Connell threw the 9-yard touchdown to receiver Jacoby Myers late in the 4th quarter. Ultimately, it was a tad too late as O'Connell's Raiders fell to the Chicago Bears by a score of 30-12. Former Purdue wide receiver David Bell played a memorable game this past weekend. Bell plays for the Cleveland Browns, who beat the Indianapolis Colts in exciting fashion 39-38. But it was also an exciting day because Bell's niece was born at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Tylen Jones and baby Kimry are doing great. The mom and baby team got a little more game day action than expected.
I had a talk with her and I told her she could not come on this day.
Kids, man, they just never listen. Jones went to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis to watch her cousin David Bell of the Cleveland Browns play against the hometown Colts. Well, Kimry punted that plan and Jones didn't get to finish cheering on her family. She went into labor during the game, giving birth to Kimry. Apparently, that's the first child born at the venue.
I'll just tell her that she's the Lucas Oil baby.
Clearly, a winning day for the whole family on and off the field.
I'm still in shock, yeah, I'm still in shock. Like, everybody comes in like, you had a crazy day yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, it was crazy.
That's a wrap for sports, but stay tuned. Fast Track will be back right after this quick timeout.
Are you looking for a new hobby? Or do you want to have a fun evening with your friends?
Then come climb to new heights at the Co-Rec Climbing Wall.
So I am the president of the ski club. I'm pretty decent at skiing, I would say, but I still am cautious and reserved when I skied. In Copper, one of the other officers was like, we're hitting this today. The last day, we're gonna do it, and you're gonna come up with me. He really convinced me, and we got to the top of the lift, and as we were going up the lift was literally like this. Then we get to the top, and I was angry. We're looking over this ridge and you can't see where the hill goes. You're looking over the edge and you don't see anything. Once I got over that little ridge and I was able to kind of see where I was going, once I got to the bottom, it was like a great accomplishment. If you want to have the time of your life, definitely check out Purdue Ski and Snowboard Club.
Football. It's the best time of the year. You know what else is great? The world's largest and fastest mascot. You can't have Purdue football without the trains. Look for the Reamer Club outside Stewart Center, 12 to 5 p.m. on Fridays before home football games, for your chance to ride the Boilermaker Special for free. See you then.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Right, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
The Center for C-SPAN, which is this organization, the CCSC, what we do is we facilitate like a bunch of organizations, different programs for Brian Lamb, which is the founder of C-SPAN. Anyone can be part of CCSC, whether it be through our various internships, our competitions, just to be involved, even like our student community meetings that we have every week. Anyone can go, you don't have to be communications or poli-sci. You just meet so many people, the connections you make is kind of crazy, the range that CCSC has. So yeah, it's just provided me so many opportunities to like kind of achieve the goals I have personally and forward to like whatever career paths I choose.
Now it's time for our question of the week. Halloween is right around the corner. It's time for costume creation and trick-or-treating.
What's your Halloween costume this year? Let's follow Julia Prickett and take a look at students' ideas.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
An astronaut.
Ooh, any specific reason why?
Because I want to work at NASA one day. Not as like an astronaut, but like just in general.
Awesome. I'm going to be a cop. Pretty basic. I like it. A Purdue cop, West Lafayette.
Honestly, just a cheap one. Party City.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a bar of soap.
All right.
I'm gonna be a rhino.
Ooh, anything specific about the bar of soap? Is someone going to be like the bubbles or something, or a bath?
Yeah, my girlfriend's gonna be a loofah.
That's cool.
So yeah, we're just doing that together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And you're going to be a rhino, you said?
Yes.
Anybody else you're doing the costume with, or just yourself?
We do something called Barnyard, so I think there's a whole bunch of guys dressing up in different onesies and stuff.
Awesome.
I'm gonna wear pajama pants, and a black crew neck.
Anything specific about the pajama pants?
Spooky, spider webs, pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns.
The Lorax, because I speak for the trees.
I'm not going to be anything.
It's totally okay.
I'm going to be a bat.
Ooh, I like it.
I'm dressing up as Oscar from Sesame Street.
Ooh, good one.
This week on social media, check out behind the scenes of Buzza Beta plus our question of the week. Follow us on Instagram at Purdue Fast Track News, and stay tuned for all the latest news, weather, and sports.
And that's a wrap for this week's edition of Fast Track News.
Thank you for watching, and be sure to join us again next Friday for more campus news, weather, and sports.
We are energetic, we are motivating, and we are unique.
I don't think you can beat Quidditch.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Right, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Hello everyone, my name is Orion DeWitt. I am president of the Purdue Student Production Student Organization.
And I'm Mari Gergel. I am the publicist of the club.
The club is open to any student of any major, and we have opportunities for any club member to rent gear, which includes cameras, tripods, lights, anything you really need to make your own movie.
What's best is that you can help in any way that you want, so you can be an actor or help in the crew, be part of the cinematography, anything that you want, and you can make this an experience that is meaningful for you.
You should join Purdue Student Productions because it's a great networking opportunity for students both in production major and out of the production major.
If you want to get involved with the club, you can find us on Boilerlink or on Instagram at Purdue Student Productions. So if you want to make your own movies or be an actor, join PSP today.
You're watching Fast Track News.
Want to try something new? How about learning an Irish jig? Come leap into the semester with the Irish Dance Club. No experience is necessary, so come to a meeting at the Stewart Center from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays. See you there.
I mean, every year is different, but it hasn't changed that much. Our league is just ominous, and you better lace them up tight and be ready to play every night. If not, you're going to get beaten.
Here we go again. Another season under the lights of Mackey Arena. And at first glance, things may seem familiar. But make no mistake, a lot has changed. Our fans, louder. Our players, better. A lot better. This is the season where things change. The season where we're not defined by the moments of yesterday. This is the season where we chase the promised land. The season where records are broken. The season where history is made. Boilermaker basketball has returned. Every rebound, every three, every outrageous dunk. It's all right here on Fast Track.
3, 2, 1, go.
What does it take to be a Purdue tour guide? You've got to know your history. You have to know your facts. You've got to have that Purdue spirit. And you have to walk backwards.
Football. It's the best time of the year. You know what else is great? The world's largest and fastest mascot. You can't have Purdue football without the trains. Look for the Reamer Club outside Stewart Center, 12 to 5 p.m. on Fridays before home football games, for your chance to ride the Boilermaker Special for free. See you then! Football. It's the best time of the year. You know what else is great? The world's largest and fastest mascot. You can't have Purdue football without the trains. Look for the Reamer Club outside Stewart Center, 12 to 5 p.m. on Fridays before home football games, for your chance to ride the Boilermaker Special for free. See you then!